ocean. Thank you very much for joining today. If this is your first day on Periscope, we are at Suffolk County Park, Long Island, New York, on the south shore of Long Island. We're about 62 miles or 100 kilometers east of New York City, Midtown Manhattan, as the crow flies. Long Island is about 132 miles long from the western tip in Brooklyn on New York Harbor, Narrows Bay there, and all the way out to Montauk Point on the east end. So we're about halfway out the island along the south shore. Let's take a look at the Atlantic today. I was over here yesterday, and the waves are significantly higher than they were yesterday, although there wasn't much of a wind as there is today coming off the ocean. Let me just pan around here and I'll show you a little bit of the scenery here. This is basically looking due south out over the North Atlantic. Waves today, primarily wind-driven waves today. I don't know that there's any offshore storms or anything, according to the weather maps. There must be some kind of a low pressure circulation though to create the waves. This is looking to the east-southeast. Alright, I'm going to take a walk down to the waterfront, and hopefully we will not lose our video signal. Again, I'm on my cellular service, T-Mobile. There is Wi-Fi signal available here at the beach pavilion, but I think we're in the dead zone of the Wi-Fi here right now. And probably the range of that is only about 150 feet from the top of the building. Swimming prohibited at this time of year. Obviously, there's no lifeguards on duty. The beach officially opens around Memorial Day. And this is a very popular ocean bathing beach here in Suffolk County in the summertime. And Saturday and Sundays in July and August, this place is packed. Parking lot probably holds a couple of thousand cars, and it can fill up on a good summer day. Thank you for joining. All right, let me take my steps down here through the over the sand dune here. People just enjoying this beautiful, beautiful Easter Sunday afternoon here on the south shore. Inland, the temperature is up to 75 degrees, and by inland I mean 3 or 4 miles to the north of us from the beach here on Long Island in eastern Suffolk. Again, down here it's probably in the mid 60s, maybe high 60s, but the wind is brisk. Not really a cold wind, a cool wind, but a brisk wind out of the southwest. Look at the family gatherings here today for Easter Sunday afternoon. This is really beautiful to see. Yesterday, half a mile, a quarter of a mile to the west of me, where we're standing right now at the Fire Island National Seashore, we had the whole beach practically to ourselves. But of course it was much cooler yesterday and overcast. I think the temperatures were only in the high 50s or low 60s yesterday. But I'll get down, keep walking down toward the water here, and hopefully our signal will stay with us. If you get a temporary video freeze or data freeze, just hang in there for a few seconds because it could recover. It usually recovers. Alright, here we are, good people, at the North Atlantic at Smith Point County Park, the community of Shirley, Long Island, to the north of us, Shirley and Mastic Beach. We're across from there. South shore of Long Island, 62 miles, 100 kilometers east of New York City. Kids are going to stick their toes in, but they're not going to stay in there that long. That's pretty cold, right? That temperature, water temperature, is not even up to low 40s yet, Fahrenheit. In the summertime, let's say by late July, August, the ocean temperature can get up into the mid to high 60s Fahrenheit here. And if we have a real hot summer, warm summer, usually then by Labor Day we can actually get the ocean temperature up to 70, 72, and that's about the max ocean temperature for this latitude and this longitude. So it's comfortable swimming in late summer, early autumn. It's not oppressively hot as it would be, you know, the ocean down off Florida or things like that. There's a plus to that also, that hurricanes that would come up the coast, the water temperature usually does not allow for the strengthening of the hurricanes once they get up to this latitude. Once the ocean temperature is below 80, it tends to start to weaken the hurricanes somewhat. That's not a fixed rule of thumb, but it usually helps us here, where a hurricane may be a Category 3 or even a Category 4, say if it's off the coast of Florida. By the time it gets up here, they're usually like Category 1 or Category 2. Significant reduction in winds. And yes, we get our fair share of hurricanes across Long Island over the years, over the decades. Of course, the last major storm was from Sandy. Started out called a hurricane, and then they converted it to what they call a superstorm, and that hit on October 29th of 2012. Since that time, we've been very fortunate that no hurricanes have actually impacted Long Island. Most have gone and veered out to sea to the east of us. But here we are on April 16th. Gorgeous day here. Even if the water temperature were warm enough and lifeguards were on duty, you really wouldn't want to be swimming out here unless you're a really brave soul. I'm looking east now along the beach here at Smith Point, and you can basically see the dune line right to the north of me, 100 feet away. Or the beach has been eroded this winter. This is looking to the north and then around to the west. The west direction here. We'll walk along the waterfront, water's edge I should say. Looks like low tide or a mid-level tide. I think we have a quarter moon right now, so we're not going to get a significant high tide or a significant low tide. Okay, I just had to tap that. It looked like it went out of focus. I tapped my iPad to try to refocus it. Temporarily losing the cell link. Oh, here's some really neat creation here. Look at this. Look what someone did here, a sea turtle with shells, and that's a great creation here, folks. Alright, and here's a small sand castle up ahead here we'll show you. So the creative juices are in play today. There you go. Look at that. Very nice. Alright. Let's hope our signal is back again. Comments are out because I'm looking right into the sun. And we're facing right into the wind, so you probably have the wind noise, even though I have the external microphone with the wind mitten on it. Because we have Easter dinner planned at our home in a few hours, and I need to get home and help out with that, greet the guests who are coming. But it was just such a beautiful day, I needed to get over here and show everybody this. This is the beach hut, the pavilion here at the Smith Point County Park, Suffolk County, Long Island, New York. About 60 miles east of New York City, on the south shore of Long Island, New York, here at the Atlantic Ocean. Again, this is looking south out over the North Atlantic. And you can see the rollers coming in. They're breaking pretty far out offshore, or the wind is breaking the tops of the waves. And then they break on the outer sandbar here at the beach. Some of the waves out off there have to be on the, you know, the 8 to 10 foot, well, let's say 8 foot level. My best educated guess for all of my years of experience with the ocean here. Long Island South Shore beaches. We're going to walk over here to the pavilion level, take a good look around, and then walk back over to the parking lot to my truck. Maybe I can show you the other side of the, where there is a nice fishing pier they built out into the bay, Narrows Bay here at Shirley Mastic Beach. Does she want to go or stay here? Yeah. Okay. We'll hold on to the railing here, good people, because these steps are slippery with the sand. So everybody hold on with me. We don't want anyone falling. Okay. Good. Beach hut. Probably not open today. Be open by Memorial Day. This is a little bandstand here where they have live entertainment on weekend evenings. Friday, Saturday nights in the summertime, the local bands will perform here. Let's just pan around here, looking to the south, back out over the Atlantic. Gorgeous day here, absolutely gorgeous. For those of you, all right, we're going to walk back to the parking lot now. This is walking east along the pavilion here. People still arriving. Good. In summer gear, summer garb. This is a result of pent-up winter doldrums. Right? You haven't been able to get out and get dressed like this since last September, October.